Hi, guys. I should probably do an audio test on this just to see how it sounds because I don't know if I got the new preamp working well with the stream setup. So give me a second here. Let's listen in. Ooh. Let me turn it down a bit. Okay, here. How does that sound? Now that I'm. It sounds loud? Yeah. Yeah, I turned it down. Okay. Test, 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 test. Delicious coffee. That should be good. I think that's just fine. Yell the N word for the audio to get out of here. So, what's going on, friends? Yeah, apparently the RP is back today. The Skaven RP on Arch's channel. I did ask in the Discord if it's back, and they haven't replied yet. Yeah, I said, are we actually returning today? And no one said anything. If it comes back, though, it'll be back in 2 hours on Arch's channel. Also, I was supposed to do a Mario Golf stream tonight with Naomi, Dave, and Dom. But, Dave has apparently gone off on his usual. I don't know. You all know what Dave's like at this point, right? You all know what Dave's like at this point, right? When it comes to actually showing up for streams. What the fuck? Shut up. Something the YouTube, not YouTube, the Cortana button or whatever on Windows clicked itself stupidly. Stop listening in on me, Bill Gates. Happy New Year, everyone. Don't play Mario Golf. Pray to our Lord and Savior Wii Sports Resort Golf instead. Hey, Zach Tech. The coffee's good. Everyone post coffee. Today I'm having white chocolate mocha. It's good shit. Everyone post your coffee cups. Post them. But yeah, people in glass houses shouldn't throw something. What the fuck do you mean? I say what happened to me right in the goddamn description. I sleep. I slept in. Sorry. But Dave was supposed to be back on Saturday. He's not back. Dave's supposed to be back today. He's not back. Those of you who watch Game Boomers, you know how this goes, right? Let's see a yes and no in the chat. Do you watch Game Boomers? Yes or no? And if yes, you know what it's like with Dave, right? What he ends up doing. How he ends up, disappearing for days or weeks at a time sometimes. Who the fuck knows at this point? Here. Watch Game Boomers. I'll put it. I will pin this shit. Yes, sadly, fuck off. Hey, stop scrolling, chat. I want to pin it. Pin message. No, yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, no. Listen. If you're saying no, you need to fucking start watching that shit. Oh, He goes back to the mothership. Just say Dave can't make it. Well, here's the thing, Tidge. The framing of that is incorrect because making it implies that you tried and failed. Like, can you make the jump? Well, you have to run and jump, and then you miss the jump. I didn't make the jump. But that's not what's happening. Sorry, I'm 5 months away from going return to monkey technology bad. Thanks, adherent of Lady Camellia. Thanks for the fiver. I'd watch Game Boomers if you started streaming in EU-friendly hours that you promised half a year ago. Well, figure it out. I do want to do more day streams. Start maybe a few hours early, but still go as long. You know what I mean? So we'll start between like 6 and 7 EST, and then end around 9 or 10 EST. Like two or 3 hours. I wouldn't mind starting at like 4 EST and going till about 10. That'd be nice. It's kind of funny. Sargon and I were debating in private this morning. I talked to him, then I went back to sleep because I was too tired, which is why I'm late today. But I was debating him at like 7 a.m. and he was talking about the problem with rationality, and it's a real problem. The problem is that rationality, like a pure rationalist, doesn't depend on experience as a source of knowledge. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So they operate in the realm of theory. Well, thank you, PR. They operate in the realm of theory, the rationalists. And yet experience is a source of knowledge that the rationalists never have access to because they theorize. And it's like, okay, well, I don't necessarily completely agree with that, but I get your point. And then later in the conversation, we were talking about whether or not trans women were women. And he's never going to admit this, but I basically got him to agree with me. I got him to agree with my logic that you can consider trans women to be women enough in most social circumstances. In other words, you see a trans woman in the store, she's very clearly trying to appear feminine. You're not dating her, you're not interacting with her. That is, she is appearing woman enough for that very meager interaction of just bumping into each other at a store, right? So fine. That is the practical meaning behind I'm going to be polite and call you she, is the fact that for casual interaction, trans women are women enough. Now, when it comes to romantic interaction, that's different, because now you have to have a conversation about reproduction, and it gets into a different situation. But I basically got him to agree with that. And it was kind of funny because he didn't want to, but he was saying the same things that I was in the end. And then by the end of the conversation, I was like, listen, Sargon, rather than theorizing about trans women and being a rationalist about this, you need to get some practical experience dating trans women, because you don't know without practical experience. So I turned that back around on him. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I know Discordia laughed about it. Sargon's a good guy, though. He's a good guy. It's just that he's now like a fully fledged conservative, and I'm not. So, I mean, these things happen. Brick up for $5. Thank you. Happy 2022. Ending this 2 years of constant disasters. Look at news from Colorado. Oh, what happened in Colorado? Sargon counter stream coming in 3 seconds. Ah. So, considering that I am late, should we just get right to it? Maybe we should just get right to it, guys? Right to the news. No bully Sargon. I don't bully Sargon. He's a good guy. So, listen, thanks for the donations and the support. I do appreciate you. Keep the channel going. Diddler. Sargon, this is science's fault. God, the Sargon Sitch science conversation just sounded ridiculous, man. Sargon was talking about science as a social institution where people just unthinkingly trust the avatars of science, like Dr. Fauci, which is just fucking stupid. And Sitch was talking about science, the methodology, the experimental method by which people discover, they interact with the real world and discover new things. Sitch and Sargon were talking about completely different things, and they were just talking past each other. It was an annoying conversation. $10 from Lady Columbia. Thank you. The rationalism and the purely experience divide is why I have really been going on Ayn Rand these days. She basically says you are matter and consciousness. Now stop being a dumbass. Yeah. Like, there are people who believe in Colorado just bring a blizzard. Jesus Christ, Brickman, but holy shit. I didn't know that. Wow. But yeah, there are people who believe in certain metaphysical things, like religious things, right? And so to them, you have these supernatural experiences where God is interacting with your soul or something like that. But barring that sort of event, which in my opinion doesn't happen anyway, barring that sort of event, you are absolutely your body. Your consciousness is not separate from your body. You are your body. I think it was said once that the mind spreads itself out across reality, and that seems to be true. That's how we interact with the world on a mental level. So these thought experiments about extracting your consciousness from your body and putting it in a computer or putting it somewhere, like they don't seem to make much sense because you are not separate from your body. Anyway, let's get right to it, shall we? No dicking around today. $5 club. You want to join? Want to join the SFO Devo $5 club? There's the Patreon. There's Subscribestar. There's the YouTube memberships. And there's the twitch.tv/GameBoomers sub button over on the gaming channel. And by the way, watch the gaming channel. Even though Dave has abandoned us yet again, it's okay. If you send $100 US to the PayPal and send me or one of my mods the receipt, we'll put you in the $5 club for life. And there's, of course, a P.O. box as well. So if you want to send me packages, I'll open them on the stream. But yes, a $5 recurring monthly donation to any of those 4 sources on screen will get you into the $5 club in my Discord. If you like. No obligation, though. No obligation. Now let's see what nonsense I have ready for you today. Sorry I'm so late, by the way. I just slept in. I woke up early, I talked to Sargon, I fell back asleep. What do we got here? Are you ready? A new gorgeous Disney Belle breaks all standards. So this is the new Beauty and the Beast. And this is the new Belle. You know, the movie with Hermione was not a great movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was not a great movie. But I don't know why. Okay. This gorgeous Disney Belle breaks all... Well, she does break all standards by completely having no fucking standards at all. But I gotta ask. Why do they pull this shit where people who are clearly not gorgeous, they call them gorgeous? Like, it's just theater. It's just theater. Everyone, have you seen this on like various lefty Twitter circles? You get people who are frankly not that attractive, and they're like, "Ah, yes, Queen, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're so hot, you're so cute." It's like, no. Taco Bell. Oh God. But yeah, man, like, it just seems to be a thing that people are calling themselves beautiful when they are not. And it's fine, like, not everyone can be good looking all the time. I'm not good looking at all. I'm okay with it. I still got a GF, it's okay. Okay. The most gorgeous girl in town is breaking some expected standards. What kind of town are we talking about here? I'll read all supers at the end, guys. Thank you. Presentation of Belle in a Maryland theater production. Oh, it's a theater production. That's why. Okay. All right. It's the newest classic Disney princess. Everyone thinks of Belle from Disney's Beauty and the Beast as a petite, thin, white woman with a yellow or perhaps blue dress. We often reference actors like Emma Watson from the recent live-action film version. 2017. It's been 5 years since that came out. Holy fuck, I'm getting old. So, Belle is played by Jade Jones, a self-described queer, plus-sized black woman. MSNBC recently posted a story having picked up on the viral sensation in Only Maryland, and it's been making humongous waves. You guys, did you choose that word specifically? Oh, it makes this show throw a whopper of a curveball. Okay. The person who's writing this has to know what they're fucking doing here. All right? Oh God. Okay, I'm not gonna read any more of this. It just seems to be a fluff piece about her. But still, it's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Check this out. Update to YouTube dislike count. So we all know that YouTube turned off the dislike button, and you also know that you can get an add-on for Google Chrome and for Brave and for other browsers that allow you to see the dislike button again. Okay, so in response to decentralized individuals coding solutions for free and having a workaround for YouTube censorship, this came out. Earlier this year, we experimented with the dislike count to see whether or not changes can help better protect creators from harassment and reduce dislike attacks. And it seems like those in the experiments could still see and use the public dislike button, but because the count was not visible, we found they are less likely to target a video's dislike button to drive up the count. So, they made all the dislikes private on YouTube. Okay, I did a video on this, so go watch that video. But there were some changes, okay? Here is something that they changed to try and block people who are using the add-on to discover dislikes, because it didn't actually remove the data from YouTube's API. It just removed its visibility on the page itself. So, if you're using the YouTube API for dislikes, I'll highlight it here. This is the most important part. If you're using the YouTube API for dislikes, you will no longer have access to public dislike data beginning on December 13th. Your end users will still be able to view dislike data related to their own content on authenticated API requests. You can apply for an exemption to have dislike data on non-authenticated calls, as long as you don't display or share dislike data with your end users. So, YouTube's official point of view is not that this is meant to, protect large corporations or news outlets or anything like that. It is to protect creators who get bombarded by dislikes when like a subreddit mobilizes and sends everybody in to go dislike a video. Of course, it doesn't really help because you can still see the dislikes in the back end. I can still see my own dislikes in the back end. But it's so that it doesn't encourage other people to keep doing it. However, if you are a YouTuber, you can code an add-on for YouTube, and many YouTubers do. I don't, but many YouTubers do this, to use data in a certain way to help with your YouTubing experience. But if you were to do so, you cannot code anything that will allow you to give the dislike data to your viewers. That is part of what this means. So if I wanted to make my dislikes publicly available to everybody, that's against YouTube TOS now. Even though I want that to be the case. I want it to be public. But I am now bound, but I can't do that anymore. So, this is obviously more than just protecting small creators who get brigaded. Obviously. Let's continue. Masturbation will make your hands pregnant in the afterlife. Oh my god. Dude, look at these hands. A Muslim televangelist has given a stark warning to the world's masturbators, claiming during a live TV interview that their hands will become pregnant in the afterlife. Mujahid Chihad Khan made the comment after a questioner confessed that he kept masturbating even though he was married. He urged him to resist Satan's temptations, adding, moreover, one hadith states that those who have sexual intercourse with their hands will find their hands pregnant in the afterlife, complaining against them to God over its rights. If our viewer was single, I would recommend he marry, but what can I do now? What do you guys think? Would you want pregnant hands in the afterlife, guys? Keep food fresh with this bacteria-killing packaging. Ooh. A team of scientists from Singapore have developed a smart food packaging material that is biodegradable, sustainable, and kills microbes harmful to humans. It could also extend the shelf life of fresh fruit by 2 to 3 days. The natural food packaging is made from a type of corn protein called zein, starch, and other naturally derived biopolymers infused with a cocktail of natural antimicrobial compounds. These include oil from thyme, a common herb used in cooking, and citric acid. In lab experiments, when exposed to an increase in humidity or enzymes from harmful bacteria, the fibers in the packaging have been shown to release the natural antimicrobial compounds, killing common dangerous bacteria that contaminate food, like E. coli, as well as fungi. The packaging is designed to release the necessary minuscule amounts of antimicrobial compounds only in response to the presence of additional humidity or bacteria. This ensures that the packaging can endure several exposures and last for months. Cool, man. That's neat. And the price of healthy food goes up again. Remember, guys, science bad. I'm just poking fun. I know, I get it. I'm just poking fun. Little ghosts. Australian man denies KKK element to his Halloween display of a body hanging from a tree surrounded by white figures. A Halloween display was linked to a KKK lynching. No, it's clear. These are clearly not KKK. Like, where's the pointed hat? This is clearly not a KKK thing. Come on, guys. Like, it's like you got the Halloween jack-o'-lantern there. You got like a dead body hanging from the tree. You got these ghosts hanging out. Come on, it's not KKK. What the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? A South Australian man has denied that his Halloween display resembled a Ku Klux Klan lynching scene, but promised to tone it down after neighbors reported it to police. Jesus. The father of 3 had intended for the display to show little ghosts dancing around a fire with a body bag nearby for shock value. He put the display up on Sunday, and the following day, police officers arrived at his doorstep after receiving complaints from neighbors who likened the display to historic lynchings carried out by members of the KKK. People see what they want to see. He had absolutely no intention for the display to resemble a racist lynching and pointed out that his ghosts had round heads, while KKK members wore distinctive pointed white hoods. That's true. Like, what the hell, man? It's clearly not KKK. What the? Also, there's no KKK in Australia. All right. Las Vegas police find severed head in cooler while arresting a man in a stolen truck. Jesus Christ. On December 23rd, 2021, at approximately 3:42 p.m., Las Vegas officers attempted to conduct a traffic stop on a truck. The driver failed to stop and fled from units. The air unit was able to follow the truck and notice the driver switch trucks. Officers once again attempted a vehicle stop, but the driver fled a second time. The air unit followed the vehicle and was able to guide officers to an apartment complex near the 4200 block of West Rochelle Avenue. Officers approached the vehicle and observed the suspect, later identified as 57-year-old Eric Holland, exiting the truck. Holland threw various items at officers in an attempt to flee, but he was taken into custody. During the investigation, officers were able to determine both trucks had been previously reported stolen. In the bed of one of the truck officers discovered human remains. So, KLAS reported several officers found large coolers in his truck bed containing human remains, including a severed head. So, did this guy, kill people? Or did he happen to just, hijack a truck that had human remains in it from somebody else? Las Vegas isn't in California, it's in Nevada. Yeah, if he stole the truck with human remains, he didn't kill him. Sigma serial killer grind set. Jesus. Sip your coffees, guys. Don't go to Vegas when it's your birthday. You're going to get fucking axe murdered, dude. A gym in Poland is calling itself a Church of the Healthy Body in an attempt to stay open during new coronavirus restrictions. Jesus. I'll read all the super chats at the end. Thank you, guys. A gym in Krakow, Poland is trying to rebrand itself as a Church of the Healthy Body. The manager of Atlantic Sports Fitness wrote in a Saturday Facebook post, "Since fitness classes cannot function, a religious congregation of members are starting today at our club at the Church of the Healthy Body." The manager of the gym referred to the gym's trainers as the Elder Council. The move came after the Polish Prime Minister announced new national restrictions in a tiered traffic light system, asking people to stay home. In the red zone, which includes Krakow, gyms and swimming pools must close. But the new rules allow church gatherings in the red zone, as long as there is one person per 75 square feet. There it is, guys. There's your new church. Get swole for Jesus. Yeah, it's the Iron Temple. That's what it is. This one, you guys have all heard about, I'm sure. Alexa tells 10-year-old girl to touch live plug with penny. This went viral a couple days ago. And people are outraged at Alexa right now. I'm sure everyone's heard about this. This is like a viral thing. The suggestion came after the girl asked Alexa for a challenge. Plug in a phone charger about halfway into a wall outlet, then touch a penny to the exposed prongs, Alexa said. Oh my God. Holy shit. Amazon said it fixed the error as soon as the company became aware of it. The girl's mother described the incident on Twitter. She said, "We were doing some physical challenges, like laying down and rolling over holding a shoe on your foot, from a physical education teacher on YouTube earlier. There was bad weather outside. My daughter just wanted another challenge." That's when the Echo speaker suggested partaking in a challenge that it had found on the web. The dangerous activity, known as the Penny Challenge, began circulating on TikTok and other social media websites about a year ago. Metals conduct electricity, and inserting them into live electrical sockets can cause electrical shocks, fires, and other damage. The mother tweeted that she intervened, yelling, "No, Alexa, no!" And her daughter was too smart to do something like that. Wow. It's like there's a little girl. "Hey, Alexa, what should I do this afternoon?" "Kill yourself." I will never have a smart house device. I'll never have an Alexa. I will never have Google Home. None of that shit. No. Man charged with felony under 3 strikes law after police say he underpaid for Mountain Dew. Jesus. Police say that Joseph Sobolowski stopped at a convenience store in East Central Pennsylvania. The store had a promotion where 2 Mountain Dew bottles cost $3. He grabbed one bottle, put $2 in the counter of the store, and left. But a single bottle cost $2.29 plus tax, not the expected $1.50, so he didn't actually overpay as he may have thought. Police and store workers said he underpaid by 29 cents plus tax for a total of 43 cents. Store employees called police, who found Sobolowski in charge with a felony. A felony? He was sent to jail on a $50,000 bond, facing 7 years in prison. Holy shit, dude. Wow. The bond was changed 7 days later to a $50,000 unsecured bond, according to court documents. State law says an unsecured bond is granted when the defendant signs an agreement to be liable for a fixed sum of money if he or she fails to appear as required. Why such a high penalty for shorting a store less than 50 cents? Sobolowski was being charged under the state's 3 strikes law for retail theft. The first strike, he was convicted more than a decade ago for pumping gas without paying. The second strike, he was arrested and sentenced for stealing shoes from a Kmart. The shoes cost $39.99. He paid $866 in fines and fees and was sentenced to 3 months jail. The third strike, he and his wife were arrested for putting craft supplies in their backpack at a Hobby Lobby. His bond in that case was $2,000. And underpaying for the soda is his 4th strike. But not all agree with the blanket 3 strikes law since it doesn't take into account the context of a crime. For me, I would get the deterrent factor if someone's thefts were getting worse or higher in value, but the lack of discretion is what bothers me. It's problematic because it doesn't factor in the amount. Yeah, it sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? Yeah, meanwhile, in California, they steal fucking everything. So yeah, apparently on your 3rd strike, and this is his 4th strike, it becomes a felony no matter what. So even though it was an accident, even though he clearly thought that $2 would have been fine, even though it was $2.29, and it was just like an obvious fuck up. Yeah, he's fucked. He's fucked, guys. Oh, check this out. Only just noticed they altered the mask emoji to look happy about being in a mask. Yeah. Pre-pandemic, the mask emoji was like a sick person. And now it's a happy person. I did a video a few years ago about how they change emojis for political reasons. And this is just another point in that list. Not worth its own video. But yeah, there's definitely like a wider campaign to normalize things that people don't like, to make you feel like you are out of line or kind of outrageous or unreasonable for having your objections even in your own head. I've still only worn a mask once, guys, and that's when I went to a clinic. It made sense because it's a clinic, it's a medical location, fine. But I'm not fucking wearing it. Can we get a pregnant man smiling in a mask? Woman's friend awkwardly mistakes her positive COVID test for a pregnancy announcement. Oh my God. Look at all these pregnancy tests, guys. Helen Phillips sent a picture of her lateral flow test to a friend who works as a doctor and expressed her disappointment that she wouldn't be forced to miss out on a work event as a result. When her friend asked how she felt, she replied to say she had a minor cough and sore throat, but nothing major, and was left confused when she was then asked if she was happy. She said she was not ecstatic, and the penny finally dropped as the pals realized they'd been talking about very different tests. I'm pregnant with a virus. Oh no. I thought they were pregnancy tests. I'm not happy about having COVID. As long as the symptoms stay minor. This is just kind of funny, fair enough, right? There's no underlying political message here, just a little bit of fun. Modern day slavery ring busted in Georgia. Jesus. More than 100 migrant farm workers in the southeast U.S. were freed from the shackles of modern day slavery when federal agents broke up a transnational crime ring. This is what open borders get you, guys. 24 people, including illegal aliens, were indicted last month on 54 counts of international forced labor trafficking, mail fraud, money laundering, and other charges. The indictments, announced in Georgia, charged that H-2A agricultural visas were fraudulently used to smuggle foreign nationals from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras into the United States. Workers in the field were forced to pay for transportation, food, and housing, while their identification documents were withheld. Laborers performed physically demanding work for little or no pay, housed in crowded, unsanitary, and degrading living conditions, and threatened with deportation and violence. Exploitation of the workers included being required to dig onions with their bare hands, paid at 20 cents for each bucket harvested, and threatened with guns and violence to keep them in line. Conspirators alleged to have reaped more than $200 million from the scheme were also accused of raping, kidnapping, and attempting to kill the workers. At least 2 laborers have died. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Okay, listen to this. The Biden administration deserves credit for bringing home this multi-agency investigation that began in 2018. Well, doesn't that mean that the Trump administration has credit for starting the investigation in 2018? What the fuck, dude? Jesus. For all of Donald Trump's jawboning about immigration, his USDA under political appointees, like former Secretary Sonny Perdue, were hostile to positive enforcement of changes on agricultural guest workers. Dude, this fucking agency would have been part of this investigation in 2018. Holy fuck. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. You can't even give Trump like a drop. a drop of good faith. All right. We gave our daughter a unique name. Then I realized my husband tricked me. Oh my God. Creating rifts between couples that can last until the child arrives is a serious decision that will stay with the little one as they grow up. It makes a nice change when a couple can agree on a name without any of the rowing or disagreement. And when one mom and dad to be talked about names for their child, he surprised her with a lovely suggestion. Gushing over the name idea in a magazine, the mum named Claire from New South Wales said, "We chose our daughter's name, Lanesra, because it was unique and romantic. Lanesra, Lanesra. While it is a stunning and original name, keener fans might notice something unusual about the spelling, especially if the letters are reversed. It wasn't until she was 2 that my husband told me it was actually his favorite soccer team, Arsenal spelled backwards. Oh God. Wow. A football-mad fan from Spain admitted she had convinced her husband to call their child Linesra, claiming the name originated from her Spanish side, and he fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Ba-dum-bum-bum. TikToker captures Wingstop employee dumping chicken in fryer without gloves. This guy works at Wingstop. He's got his he's got his nose hanging out of his mask. That's strike 1. He's got chicken without gloves on. That's strike 2. And I guess for the progressive, what's strike 3? Oh yeah, he's black. Okay. One TikToker found someone who wasn't following the recommended food handling guidelines. He uploaded a video he took at his local Wingstop where he expressed his disgust at a worker handling the food without gloves. He said that he canceled his order after seeing the employee dump the chicken into the fryer without gloves, but was quickly met with a wave of criticism from folks who pointed out that even at the finest of eating establishments, most chefs handle food with bare hand. Yeah, dude. Guys. This is a fucking fryer. What do you think? Okay, let's say his hands were covered in COVID. Do you think COVID survives being fucking deep fried? Yeah, he's dumping it in boiling grease. Like, there's a reason that, like, Subway sandwich people wear gloves, because you're not cooking the food, you're making a sandwich. This is different. Don't worry about it, Lella. Deep fried bacteria. Jesus Christ. It's so stupid. One person said, I work at Wingstop. Before he drops the basket of chicken, he washes his hands, plus the fryers are at 350 degrees. Another person says he's working hard preparing a delicious meal for someone. Acknowledge him for that, not for something that's not even relevant. This person says all bacteria burns with the oil's heat. You'll be fine. They don't touch the wings once they put them in the pot. Like, chill the fuck out, buddy. As someone who is a chef, I promise you, even at the finest restaurants, we don't use gloves. Wow. Fucking brainlets here, guys. Fucking brainlets. Staring at boobs may give a boost to male lifespans. Experts say, trust the science. Science has found the key success to live happy lives. Long and happy lives for men. Okay. Here are 6 ways a man can boost his life expectancy. 1. Stare at boobs. A 2012 study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine looked at the effects of positive thinking had on a man's health. More than half of patients with coronary artery disease increased their physical activity versus 37% in the control group. So anything that gives you positive thoughts, including staring at boobs, because staring at boobs creates a positive mindset in men, will reduce coronary artery disease and high blood pressure. Trust the science. 2. Have lots of sex. Having lots of sex could increase a man's mortality rate by as much as 50%. Damn. Sex releases serotonin, the happy hormone. It's a stress reliever. Okay. It also reduces the likeliness of illness. 3. Get married. Married men live longer. Men who got married after they were 25 years old were likely to live longer than those who married young. So you have to get married, but get married when you're mature, so you don't ruin your life, I guess. 4, have kids. Men who have kids live longer than those who don't. Maybe because you're more responsible in how you live? It's possible. Yeah. 5, be responsible. A sense of responsibility can do wonders. And 6, get a dad bod. I don't know if I buy this one. Tubby men are less likely to suffer a heart attack or prostate cancer. Well, maybe like slightly overweight, but not like grotesquely fat, right? Okay. Well, there we go. All right. Oh, yeah, this shit. Okay. Let me get my headphones out because we're going to listen to this. All right. Kevin stopped a handicapped guy and asked him to show him the rules where he's allowed to use the vehicle. Okay.
Nice job.
Seriously, dude, you're not supposed to have e-bikes on this thing.
This is a handicap piece of equipment.
And
what?
show me the rules saying that you're allowed to do this.
This fucking soy boy.
Who are you?
Come on, buddy. You're breaking the rules at the park.
It's a handicap piece of equipment. I can't walk.
You should have led with that.
He did lead with that.
I said it. Is this your husband? Class act, brother. You're a class act.
You guys are a class act. You know the rules.
Class
The rules are
act.
they
I
allow
mean,
you
you're
to be there, bro.
God, dude.
Everyone's on a motorcycle.
Wow. Class act.
What the fuck, dude? Like, he's not ripping around on a motorbike going like, road level speeds. Just let him fucking go, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's true. I did at one point say ableism doesn't count. That's true. That's true. And actually, I just reminded myself, I wanted to show another Twitter thing. And I was going back and forth on it because it involves animal feces. Do you think YouTube will be okay with it? It's not human feces, it's animal feces. I wonder if YouTube will get mad if I show it. He's probably just disabled, like paraplegic or something. YouTube will get mad. Oh. Do it. Dev, I'm eating. No. Okay. Well, you know what? Here, I'll drop the link in the chat. You guys can go watch it. It's a recent thing where a veterinarian dislodges some kind of constipation from an elephant's asshole, and then the elephant just projectile diarrheas all over him. It's fucking hilarious. Next time on Demonetized. All right, let's continue then. Since it is a shit show. Since I'm not going to show it, I retweeted it instead. So you may go and watch that video. I saw it. Don't. Oh God, it's fucking hilarious. Oh my God, you're all looking at it now. It's a shit tsunami. Basically, there's like a really hard shit in the elephant's asshole, and this guy yanks it out, and then it just fucking blasts out and hoses him. Jesus. Oh my God. The Biden maneuver. Did I get it from Poe? No. This is one thing I did not get from Poe. Poe's a good guy, but this one didn't come from him. All right. Let's continue. I don't like to bother people, said a man who drove himself to the ER with a nail in his heart. Jesus! Look at this. Can you see this? There's a nail in his heart. Right there. Holy fuck. A Wisconsin man came perilously close to death after accidentally shooting a nail into his heart while working on his house. He didn't bother calling 911. Well, I don't like to bother people if I don't have to. And you know, I felt pretty good. I mean, other than the pain from the nail being there. He was working on framing in a fireplace in his house when this nail gun accidentally fired, sending a nail ricocheting off some wood and into his chest. Doug Bergeson says to a hospital security guard, "I've got a nail on my chest. I'm just going to sit down here. If you can find someone to help me out, that would be just fantastic." Like, look at this guy. Holy fuck. Oh. I was kind of in an awkward spot, and I wasn't ready for the nail gun to go off, and it fired once where I wanted it, and fired once where I didn't want it to go. When it hit, it felt like it nicked me. I looked down, I didn't see anything, so I took my other hand and pulled my shirt down and put my hand there. I was like, oh, this isn't good. About 1 inch of a 3.5-inch nail was protruding from his chest. He noticed the nail was twitching in time with his heartbeat. Holy shit, dude. Like, that's fucking wild. He cleaned himself off, hopped into his truck, and drove the 15-minute commute to the Bay Area Medical Center. I got a 3/4-ton truck, so it picks up all the bumps in the road, and it just kind of aggravated it a little bit. By the time I got about 8 miles into it, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm ready to have this taken out. When he arrived at the hospital, he found a good parking spot and walked into the ER. There was another patient at the reception desk. There was a security guard in there also. So I just leaned over him and told him, "I've got a nail in my chest. I'm just going to sit down." Medical staff immediately rushed to his aid. Still thinking he would soon be on his way home after a little medical attention, Bergeson texted his wife Donna to bring him a new shirt because medical staff had cut off the one he was wearing. But after x-rays were taken, he was rushed by ambulance to another hospital. They had to cut my chest open. I was astounded they were going to have to do that. I asked the physician, "Is there a different direction we can go?" The doctors informed him that surgery was the only option. I said, "Oh well, do what you gotta do. I'll wait here." He has the nail at home. He plans to put it on his mantelpiece. The nail hit his heart, and it was also 1/16 of an inch from a major artery. He spent 2 days in the hospital and was recovering at home. He'll be able to return to work this week. Oh, well, yeah. He says he's putting the nail on the mantelpiece. Tells you I put my heart into that house. Shot through the heart and you're too late. All right. LAPD tells citizens to cooperate and comply when being robbed, as city sees surge in follow-home robberies. Due to an increase in violent street robberies, robbery homicide divisions have become aware of an ongoing crime trend of follow-home robberies. Suspects have been locating victims in Los Angeles, following them, and then committing the robberies as the victim arrives home or at their business. Victims have been followed from such places like Melrose Avenue, the jewelry district of Los Angeles, nightclubs, and high-end restaurants. The target of the robberies have been expensive jewelry, including watches and necklaces, as well as expensive purses. Victims have been targeted based on the type of vehicle they're driving. Jesus Christ. If you are being robbed, do not resist the robbery suspects. Cooperate and comply with their demands. Be a good witness. Wow. You fucking cucks. This is bike cuck shit all over again. Seth Rogen. Officer Seth Rogen recommended. Coffee's done. Okay. Fuck you. Fuck you, California. You're fucking terrible. They even got a 100-Pound Sisters star, Tammy Slayton, comes out as pansexual. You know. Licking the pans is not a sexuality. Producers released a clip of an upcoming show in which Tammy opens up to Jerry, her boyfriend of 2 years, saying, "It means love is love. I would date anybody, whether they're transgender, straight, or gay." Tammy's sister, Amy, and her husband, Michael, are seated at the restaurant along with Tammy and Jerry. Why is it that really fat people always look like Cro-Magnons? Like, what's with the sloping fucking forehead? Tammy explained how she came to her realization. "I always thought I was bisexual, and then I started talking to one of my friends, and she told me she was pansexual, and I asked her what it meant. It means you love everybody, not just the same sex." And I was like, well, I guess I am too. "I'm happy because he took it pretty well. Acceptance of people's sexuality is more important to me." What the fuck? I'll screw a table, whatever. Jesus. Good God. Like this looks like some kind of a non-sexual being. You know you're fat when you have fat in your forehead. Yeah. New York Governor Kathy Hochul declares racism a public health emergency and specifically points to surge in Asian hate crimes. Oh my God. Racism is a public health crisis, guys. For far too long, communities of color in New York have been held back by systemic racism and inequitable treatment. I am proud to sign legislation that addresses this crisis head-on, addressing racism, expanding equity, and improving access for all. Her legislation will specifically aim to address the rising discrimination in Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders communities has faced amid the pandemic. Stop Asian hate. I mean, fair enough. There is like a lot of black on Asian crime right now in New York City. So, I mean, fair enough, right? But do you want to see the legislation that she's talking about here? Let's look at the legislation itself. Oral antiviral treatment is authorized for patients who meet the following criteria. This is obviously COVID treatment. Age 12 years and older, weighing at least 88 pounds for Paxlovid, or 18 years and older for Molnupiravir. Test positive for SARS-CoV-2 on a nucleic acid amplification test or an antigen test. Results from an FDA-authorized home test kit should be validated through video or photo, but if not possible, patient attestation is adequate. Have mild to moderate COVID-19 symptoms. Patients cannot be hospitalized due to severe or critical COVID-19. Able to start treatment within 5 days of symptom onset. Have a medical condition or other factors that increase their risk for severe illness. And finally, non-white race or Hispanic/Latino ethnicity should be considered a risk factor, as long-standing systemic health and social inequities have contributed to an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19. So, her anti-racism legislation, insofar as public health is concerned, is to deprioritize white people in getting oral antiviral treatment for COVID. Yeah. That's where we are, guys. It's actual racism. Yes. It's actual racism. She's just a fucking racist. All right. That is all the links I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to support the channel, hit the sub button. That's just a sub, though. If you want to financially support the channel, you got to hit up the $5 club, a $5 monthly recurring donation from one of those 4 sources: the Patreon, the Subscribe Star, the YouTube memberships button, and the Game Boomers Gaming channel sub button over on Twitch. $100 USD to the PayPal gets you in the $5 club for life. Just send me the receipt. And as always, you may mail me your garbage in the P.O. box. I'll open up your packages on stream. So thanks very much, guys. Thank you. Now then, shall we go through the Super Chats? I just gotta find them. God damn it. Give me a moment, okay? I'll find the supers. Blade Trainer, I understand. V's a good boy. All right. Yorio Zuya donated twice. He says, Happy New Year's, Dev. Tampons for free, lol. We'll keep sharing yours. Keep it up. Don't share my tampons, guys. Come on. Admiral Nelson for $5. I'm in Hawaii and they are COVID Nazis. You can't get into a restaurant cart without showing your vaccine card. They require masks outside too. Mask outside is the dumbest fucking thing, dude. Yet we are at the point where you can't even show a vaccine card here anymore. You can't show a vaccine card anymore. You have to show your phone. Have the vaccine app put onto your phone and have it scanned at the door. Fucking ridiculous. Louie Lou, if you're Prime subbed, link up your Twitch with your Discord account. It should put you in there automatically. Fuzzy Creature for $5. Ever read Defining Deviance Down by former Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan? Try to get Sargon to read it once. Explains Western decline. No, I haven't. I've never even heard of that book. Sorry, man. Wilson for $2. The whiny TikToker went re all the way home. Yep. Bo Yang Jam for $5. Off topic, but why does Canada have over 60% of the world's lakes? Stop being on the damn water. It's an ice age thing. What happened was the unique geography of Canada caused when the Great Northern Glaciers moved south, it gouged out a shit ton of holes in the land. More so than anywhere else in the world because of the unique geography of Canada. And so at the end of the Ice Age, when the ice retreated, a whole bunch of ice was left over in these various holes, and now we have more fresh water than anywhere Canada has more fresh water than the entire world combined because of all these lakes. Nuclear Winter Gamer for $5. Happy New Year, Dev. Can't wait to see what 2022 has in store for the expansion of the SFO channel. Love you, no homo. Yes, homo. But yeah, I have a lot of plans that are like slowly coming to fruition. You know, Game Boomers is on a slow growth. I keep getting more subs. I keep getting more viewers. You know, sometimes I'll advertise it on this channel, and like 10 new viewers will show up. One person will become a mainstay. You know, that's growth. It's good. You know, Lilith and I are still getting ready to do the weekly podcast, so that's working out. I'm making more videos. You know, things are going well for me. So thank you very much. The next plan for me is to get an office and a studio. Lyman Mason for $5. Good morning, Dev. What's your take on the Jack Murphy debacle? I don't know much about it. I just don't know much about it. I didn't know who he was before he went viral. I don't know enough to comment. Maybe I will after I look into it, but I just don't know enough. Noah for $5. Can you please check the poll catalog for SETF and look at a subreddit called WSS when you get the chance? I feel like this is going. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Sorry, this is all. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm sorry. Ninjask for $5. Breaks all standards, eh? A standard's a brand of chairs. I think that's it. We also got a new person who joined the $5 club. A Wonderful Galaxy. Thank you very much for joining. Let me see memberships. Yeah, $5 club. Thank you, guys. I think that's all. That's all. That is all. Thanks for watching, everyone. As I said earlier, because Dave has poofed into smoke, the possible Mario Golf stream happening tonight is now not possible. But you know what? I'll be back to Game Boomers tomorrow. Whether or not Dave is around, I'll be back to Game Boomers tomorrow. I probably got to go figure out if we're actually doing the fucking RP. Jesus Christ. No one tells me anything. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Have a good one. I love you. I'll see you on Arch's channel.